Hello, thank you for listening. This is Nausicaa Garcia presenting an audio presentation of Lee Canter, Assertive Discipline Principles and Practices. Assertive discipline is based on a simple premise that setting uniform standards of behavior for all students in all areas of the school will resolve questions as to how students are to behave. This framework was introduced by Lee Canter in 1976 with his book Assertive Discipline, a take-charge approach for today's educator. Assertive discipline involves establishing rules, consequences, and reward for students, by which we teach students to take responsibility for their own behavior. They are given a clear choice to follow the rules and enjoy the rewards, or break the rules and receive the consequences. The Canter model focuses on establishing a classroom climate in which needs are met. Behavior is managed humanly, and learning occurs as intended. The climate is accomplished by attending closely to student needs, formalizing effective class rules of behavior, teaching students how to behave properly, regularly giving students positive attention, talking helpfully with students who misbehave, and establishing a sense of mutual trust and respect. Assertive discipline stresses the importance of responding assertively to good behavior, and this is an important point. It is the teacher's responsibility to inform the student of the choices, the consequences of choosing not to respond appropriately, or the rewards for choosing to behave appropriately. The teacher selects consequences that are not physically or psychologically harmful, but ones that the student does not like. Assertive discipline is based on the principles that, first, a student can behave appropriately. Second, teachers must know and communicate to students what they want them to do. Third, students must provide negative consequences every time students disrupt. Fourth, teachers must consistently reinforce appropriate behavior. And fifth, teachers must ask for help from parents and principals. The Assertive Discipline program requires that firm, consistent limits be set for the students, while at the same time it supports the student need for warmth and positive support. Canter claims that assertive discipline works with all students at all grade levels. All students can behave and control their behavior except for those with organic problems such as epilepsy or brain damage. As a result, no longer are students with emotional problems or educational handicap exempt from good behavior. Well, in order to facilitate teachers reaching all students, Canters instruct teachers to A. Tolerate no student preventing another student from learning. B. Tolerate no student stopping the teaching process. C. Tolerate no student engaging in any behavior that is not in the student's best interest and in the best interest of others. And most importantly, immediately recognize and reinforce for appropriate behavior. Once classroom rules are established, a teacher can stop inappropriate behavior without interrupting the teaching process. An example, for example, is the teacher writes the name of the misbehaving student on the chalkboard, or in some non-verbal way indicates to the student that a rule has been broken. At the same time, the teacher can praise another student for not doing the inappropriate. For example, you could say, I like the way Johnny raises his hand before responding. This brings to the student's attention that misbehavior, breaking of a known rule, is occurring. A primary goal of assertive discipline is to eliminate student misbehavior. The teacher who looks for, finds, and reinforces appropriate, desirable student behaviors gets the key to successful discipline. Beginning with a balance between the positive and negative reinforcement, the emphasis shifts to more positive reinforcements as negative behavior diminishes. Consistent reinforcement is as important for good behavior as it is for inappropriate behavior. And this is a summary of suggestions from Lee Canter. First, make sure that your student needs and your own needs get met in the classroom. That is necessary for a happy and productive class. Maintain focus on your main duties in the classroom, which are to help students learn and to help them behave responsibly. Third, you must model appropriate behavior and may have to teach it to students as well. Your discipline system should establish limits on behavior and provide the necessary structures to help students behave acceptably. And last, you must teach your discipline plan to students so they understand it and accept it. This means that a teacher should spend time to break down what the rules are and what they mean. And that is for today. Thank you very much for listening.